Today we will see home automation case study with the help of IoT design methodology. So the first type of IoT design methodology is purpose and requirements. This type is implemented in home automation system in following ways. So what is the purpose of implementing home automation system? A home automation system allows controlling of lights in the home remotely using a web application. This is the purpose of designing IoT home automation system. Behavior: the home automation system should have auto and manual modes. So in case of your home automation system, the behavior should be, it should behave in two ways. Number one, auto mode, and second one is manual mode. In auto mode, the system measures the light level in the room and switches on the light when it gets dark. So what will happen in case of auto mode? The auto mode will work on in automatic way. The name itself suggests that. Means what? The system will going to measure the intensity of room light. If the room light is dim or it will be dark, then the room light will automatically get turned on. This is in auto mode. And in manual mode, the system provides the option of manually and remotely switching on or off the light. This is in case of manual mode. If required, then turn on or turn off the light. If in case of your what, manual mode. But in case of auto mode, it will by default automatically get turned on if there will be dark or if there will be very less light. So these are the two behaviors of your home automation system, that is your auto mode and manual mode. System management requirement: the system should provide remote monitoring and control function. As the name suggests that home automation means what? You should access the home appliances remotely, or you should monitor the home appliances remotely, and you should control those appliances or their functionalities from remote location. So this is what the system management requirement is, that it should provide remote monitoring and controlling the function of lights or other appliances in the home. Data analysis requirement: the system should perform local analysis of the data. Yes, the analysis is of type local analysis. So the data will not be going to store on cloud, it will be stored locally on the server. Application deployment requirement: the application should be deployed locally on the device but should be accessible remotely. Yeah, the application should not be again your cloud based application, it should be your local application, but it should accessible remotely. That is the condition for application deployment purpose. And last point, in case of your purpose and requirement, is security requirement. The system should have basic user authentication capability, because if you are not going to provide any kind of security in the system, any unauthorized person can attack to your network and it can enter to your home network. That's why the security should be given, or the proper security should be made available in case of your what, automation system, and that is your authentication capability. So this is step one of your home automation case study. Step two will be process specification. So which should be different processes available in case of your home automation? As we discussed, there can be two modes. Number one, auto mode and manual mode. So in auto mode, the light level will be checked. If the level is low, the state will be on. And if the light level is high, the lights will be automatically turn off. So this is mode of auto mode. This is one mode. And second mode is your manual mode. In case of manual mode, the light state is going to check. If it is on, then keep it on. If it is off, then it will be off. So these are two processes, auto process and manual process. In case of auto, light level will be checked, and in case of manual process, light state will going to check. So this is what the step number two of home automation case study. Third one is domain model specification. Here different domains are going to be focused, like there will be the domain related with user, service domain, resource domain, network domain, entity domain, physical domain, device domain. So these are various domains that are going to be focused over here. If the user is your human user, So this is how it will going to work. Let's say we will start with your application. So these are various resources. If you are accessing through it network resource, then what will happen? The resources will be used for various services, and those resources are again will be treated for your different devices. The device can be your mini computer. Various sensors and actuators are going to connect with the mini computers. There will be, like, let's say there will be LDR sensor, or there will be some relays of actuator that can be used in your home automation application. So these actuators and sensors can be treated as your IoT device, and they are connected with your mini computer. That mini computer will be treated for your what? Detecting various appliances. That appliances can be either your physical appliances or physical entity, or it can be your virtual entity. To access these virtual and physical appliances or entities, there should be some external services, and those web services can be used to control or to monitor these physical or virtual entities. This can be done by various users. Either it can be your human user, or it can be the user of system, or different system can be treated as your user for this IoT home automation application. So here you can see various domain models are available in case of home automation application. Then next one is information model specification. There are different types of information available. Let's say for virtual entity, it will be the room, and second virtual entity will be your light appliance. So all these light appliances will be available in room. So in room, it will have some light appliances, some telephone, let's say some fan, TV, and music system, etc. So it will have some room ID. It will have some attribute. This light appliance will have some attribute like state. What is the state of this particular light appliance, whether it is on or whether it is off. So this is the state in case of your what? Virtual entity light appliance. And if we are focusing from the room point of view, then there will be the intensity of light, that is light level, whether it is high or whether it is low. So this particular step is going to focus on various information available about different entities. So one type of information is light level, and other type of information is state. If the level is high or if the level is low, and if the state is on or if the state is off. This is the step number 4 in case of your IoT design methodology of information model specification. This is fifth step where various services are going to be provided for IoT application. The services can be controller service, it can be your state service, or it can be your mode service. If it is auto mode, then which kind of service it should provide, or if it is manual mode, which kind of services it should have. It is specified in this particular mode service. If the state is on or if the state is off, then which kind of state services should be provided for this IoT application is defined in state services. And what will happen at the end of this particular leaf nodes, or we can say end nodes, or IoT devices, how they are going to be controlled, which various services are used to control these IoT devices. All those such kind of services have been specified in service specification. Here you can see that this is first service related with some. The service has input, the service has some kind of schedule, and the service has some output. In the same way, the service, you can see everywhere it will have same services. The service can be for your state, it can be for mode, or it can be for your what? Various time interval. It depends on your application type, whether you are going to control the light or fan. These services may get vary. Next is, as at the starting of this case study, we discussed that all this system is relies on local side. It will not be available on cloud side. That's why there is level 1 IoT specification have been used. If you remember the levels, 6 levels of IoT level, here the level 1 is used where everything is relies on local system. There will be no use of cloud in case of level 1. So there is one device, it will going to use some resources, then it will have some control services. Those control services will access some data available from the database. Then it will going to use some services for processing on data, and at the end that data is given to the application for user interaction purpose. So this is what the step 6, that is IoT level specification of home automation system. This is functional view specification. If you remember these functional views, then this particular IoT levels is mapped with this kind of your various IoT services. Like the device will be compared with this device level, whereas it will be compared with your what? This management. So there will be the requirement of device as well as management for the first level of your IoT architecture. Second one is resources. If you properly see the arrows, you will come to know which level is associated with which application or which layer of your IoT design view. So these are functional view specification of home automation application. This is operational view specification, which are various operation or which are various communication protocols or which web application server or which database is going to use, which kind of authentication and authorization is used. That is a part of your security system that can be treated as here web application server and data server are the part of your application. So Django can be used, server can be used, and MySQL database is used for your home automation application. Here, which communication API is going to use? So REST API is going to use for your home automation application, and communication protocols used will be for link layer 802.11, for network layer IPv4 or IPv6 can be used. For transport layer, TCP can be used, and for application layer, HTTP can be used. So these communication protocols can be used in case of home automation application. Whereas which different services can be used? So the native services used are controller service, and web services used are mode REST service and state REST service. Just try to understand that these are some kind of services that can be used to control home automation application. Then which application management is used for your home automation? Django application management, MySQL database is used, and Raspberry Pi is going to use for implementing IoT application. Remember, Raspberry Pi is going to use, that's why we are going to use or we are going to implement the coding part of this IoT application in Python, as it is a Raspberry Pi device. And the base is device layer, which will have some sensors, actuators, and computing device. So which computing device? As stated, Raspberry Pi will be used. Which sensor is going to use? LDR light detection sensor resistor is going to use, LDR sensor is going to use. And which actuator is going to use? Relay switch. Means what? If the light intensity is very low, the switch will going to turn on the lights. And if the light intensity is very high, the relay switch will going to turn off the light. That is how they are dependent on each other. So one is sensor and another is your actuator. This is step 8. Which component can be used in real life for implementing home automation application? And this is the connectivity that can be done. This is Raspberry Pi. You can see the Raspberry Pi is here. White breadboard is used. Some circuits are implemented. These are some cables or wire have been used with this Raspberry Pi. Here the sensor is used. LDR sensor is going to use. This LDR sensor will going to detect light intensity, and the coding part of this particular application is implemented in Python, which is stored in this Raspberry Pi. And on the basis of this coding and light intensity, the Raspberry Pi will going to act, or it will going to execute the application. So this is how the connectivity will be done for home automation system for LDR sensor. Just an example for LDR sensor. And last step of this home automation case study will be application development, actual application or coding part. So there will be one mode, that is your light mode, and second one is auto mode. In auto mode, it controls the light appliance automatically based on the lighting condition in the room. That's why it is named as your auto mode. And second mode is light mode. When auto mode is off, this mode, when auto mode is off, it is used for manually controlling the light appliance. Yes, if auto mode is there, then there will be no use of your manual mode. And if auto mode is on off, then this manual controlling will be done like this. So auto mode is off, light mode is on, and if it is on, then it will automatically get off. The REST API can be used. So this is the coding part of your Python coding for REST application. This is what the Python coding for your implementation of IoT application. So the first coding is related with map services to models. Model fields store the state. Either it is on off or it is auto mode or manual mode. So here you can see that this is the state and mode. Both the things have been declared over here, implemented here. The second step is write model serializers. Serializers allow complex data such as instances to be converted to native Python database using JSON and XML. So this is the second code for your serializer. Then this is again some coding part related with IoT home automation application. Here you can see this .py stands for the code is written in Python. As this application is going to use Raspberry Pi, so the coding part is implemented in Python. This is RESTful web service. This is graphical user interface, that is a screenshot of REST API. This is the coding part of Raspberry Pi implemented in Python for various services. This is Django application view. This is the coding part of Django. If it is on, what should happen? If it is off, what should happen? If it is auto mode, then what should happen? And if it is manual mode, which code should be executed? It will going to check the authentication. That's why there is username and password. If the username and password will going to match, then only the further part will be implemented. That is authentication part. This is for if it is light mode, that is your manual mode, and auto mode is off, then the second type of code is there, which is going to be implemented. Finally, all the system have been integrated to form home automation application. Set up the device, deploy and run the REST and native services, deploy and run the application, and at last set up the database. So which device is going to use? Raspberry Pi device, which will going to be connected with various sensors and actuators. Then which resources can be used? Operating system is required for Raspberry Pi. Which controller services will going to use? Native services implemented in case in Python. Which database is used for home automation system? SQLite database is going to use. REST services implemented with Django REST framework is used as a part of your REST service. And last one is Django application is implemented for home automation system. This is what the case study of home automation system with the help of Raspberry Pi and various sensors and actuators.